Hi, katzcradul here. I have been sitting at my desk about an hour looking at this video. I have the graphics all laid out and am trying to debate whether I wanted to go ahead and make it or not, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just throw this out here. I've entitled this video, Plastic Has Got to Go. This has been something I've been debating for a long time, and it's a very personal decision for me. And it's not anything I'm recommending you do or suggesting you do. I'm just sharing my thoughts with you and how I'm feeling about this. As I study more and more about BPA, bisphenol A, that is in many of the plastic products, I started worrying about all the other plastic I have in my house that I use, especially to store food in. Here's some products, some plastic containers stored in a cabinet. I've got another cabinet with some in them. They're just shoved everywhere. They're so hard to keep organized too. Here's some in another cabinet, and they've become worrisome to me, and I'm annoyed every time I get in those cabinets and pull them out and use them, and I'm just not sure where that came from. I even ordered some new plastic last year. This is a whole set. There were like 50 pieces of it. It has these locks on both sides of the containers. And I never used it because when I got it, the description in the catalog did not reveal that it was from China. When I got it, it clearly was in a box from China. So I've never used them. I'm about to give them to Goodwill. This is my favorite plastic container. It's a reused one. I didn't pay anything for it. It comes from a Chinese takeout place, and it is the best little container for sending leftover food to work with Paladin Prepper for the next day for his lunch. They're just perfect containers. But I've started saying to him, don't reheat in that container. He has a glass bowl at work. Put your food in the glass bowl and heat in the glass bowl. Don't heat in that container. And I know in my heart of hearts that it is not good to store food in plastic. I know it at a gut level, and I can't exactly tell you how I know it, other than when I research plastic, I know that it's made from the petrochemical industry, that's where it comes from. I don't want to store my food in it, and I don't want to feed my child or my husband food out of it anymore, and I'm getting rid of it. The final straw really was when Skybird Bird sent me a article today on the 5 reasons why you should, not eat out of plastic containers. And then I did some more research, and I'll post the links for you below. This one is, what are the dangers of plastic food storage containers? And then I'll show you another one in a minute as well. And I'll post the links to all of them below. And there's no shortage of articles that talk about why plastic is not good and that it comes from petroleum, that it's a petroleum-based product and that kind of thing. I will tell you that I've been thinking on this for a long time, and I had a dream last week, and I don't want this to be too woo-woo or out there, but in the dream I was in an antique store, and I was buying some old glass containers with glass lids. I think they used to be called refrigerator containers. It was what you would put leftover food in the refrigerator. And I was so excited when I was in this antique store to find them, not for the antique value of them, because I really intended to use them for storage in my refrigerator. And I woke up and I didn't remember the dream until later that afternoon, and then I told Paladin Prepper about it and what I thought it meant. And that I wanted to convert back to using those to store my food in. I already do a fairly good job of not storing in plastic. I use mason jars. There is a plastic lid on the one with Parmesan cheese, but it never touches my food. Here's the jar I store oatmeal in. Just my working oatmeal. I have big buckets of it, but here is a really old ball canning jar that I store wheat in. It has a glass lid and a little bail on it that holds that lid on. Here's my jar that holds my rice. And I have another old jar that holds my popcorn. And I have lots of these that I store food in, and I like them because I can clean the glass. I know it's really clean, and it's touching my food instead of plastic. But then I remembered, in my china cabinet, I had these containers. And these are old refrigerator dishes that you used to store leftovers in. And I have pulled them out, and I'm beginning to use them now, as opposed to storing my food in the refrigerator in plastic. I have no idea, and neither do you, what is leaching into my food from that plastic. And as manufacturers look to cut cost, I would expect them to be producing plastic that is of less quality. And I know that for certain if you're going to get it from China. And remember, there's no rules over there. They do whatever they want, and they send it to us, and we use it and consume it. I'm going back to glass, and I'm getting rid of plastic. I'm not only getting rid of plastic glasses that we drink out of, I'm getting rid of plastic food storage containers for leftovers. I'm not going to be drinking out of plastic bottles, and I'm not going to be storing my food in plastic bags. How am I going to send a sandwich to school with prepare, you say? I'm going back to what my mother used to do, what I remember seeing her do when I was a little bitty girl. I'm going to wrap her sandwiches in wax paper. I'm going to see if I can improve the quality of our life by getting the petroleum-based products out of our life. I want it out of my food. I want it out of my homemade salves. I want it out of things we apply topically to our skin. I know it's not going to be easy. I'm going to have to eliminate using plastic food storage bags, which is going to be a real challenge. I will get rid of nonstick pans because that is a Teflon coating on those. I will have to go, and you know I've already gotten rid of aluminum, so I don't have those pans anymore. It'll have to be stainless steel and cast iron. But something is very wrong with us as a people. We have allowed chemicals to inundate our life, and we are sick, and we don't feel well, and we've got joint pain and mental health issues, and I think in large part that's due to us just consuming too many things that are bad for us. And so I'm not suggesting you do this. I'm just sharing with you the direction I'm going and hoping it will make a difference in our life. It is not going to be easy. I will have to get rid of lots of things, but I sure bet it will make my cabinets look clean. There are a few things I haven't figured out. When you go to the grocery store, there's plastic bags to put your produce in. Maybe I'll start taking some cloth bags to put my produce in, and they'll just have to weigh it, take it out and weigh it when they get to the counter. The other thing is, when I was a little girl and we used to go to the butcher store, the butcher would tear a sheet of paper off and wrap our meat in that. Well, you know, our meat now comes in styrofoam containers, and they're lined with a little paper moisture absorber. It's all chemicals. Anyway, there's some things I still have to work out, and I'm going to do my best to try to figure that out. I'll let you know what happens. Cat's Cradle.